Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and it's a big city update. And it doesn't get much bigger than this. My first proper skyscraper has almost been finished, and I'm loving the way this looks so far. Although it's so big, I'm precariously balanced on a chair trying to film this because it's so high up. And I have to tell you, when I started doing this city, I've been imagining this moment for so long. So I'm very excited to be able to show you what I've been up to. It is very monolithic, it's pure black, but it doesn't dominate the city because it's right at the back. Because of the nature of my city, with it stepping up at the back, and this is right at the back, it's actually quite hard to film in landscape because it's so narrow and linear. It's not quite finished, but I have also started the road outside and the street, but not much else yet in this area. To be honest, I've put off doing it because it's an area that won't really be seen very often, but you know what? I've got to get it finished, especially as where the back railway line is will eventually be covered, and I need to get that started so there will be loads of space for more buildings. And of course, all this white space that's left here is for more skyscrapers as well, so quite a few buildings to come. You might have spotted that white building, it's new as well, but it is half its final intended size, but I will show it to you in a second. Now, from the front of the city, when you walk into the room, this is the view you're greeted with. And my vision was always to have these sort of layers of a street with the old town, a harbour, the city square, then an elevated back section for the financial district. I want to be able to see most buildings. I don't want enclosed streets where you have to look down to see the row behind. The front area is now finished, and now I have the beginnings of that financial district. The white building serves as my HQ for Dutch airline KLM. And it actually looks quite tall next to the hotel, but it will be much bigger soon. It has to be really, because especially next to the canal house, which in real life would be much smaller, so I've still got a fair number of floors to add to this. This corner here has the canal house next to it, next to the railway, and I'll be working on this area soon. The tan and grey sections will be a kind of waterway with canal boats, and there will be a tunnel for the boats to go through with a mirror so that it looks like it's kind of never ending. The Citigroup banking building in New York is a bit like this, although it has horizontal floors and this MOC has sort of vertical columns, but it's still sort of similar to me. Quite an iconic building. The pillars are the base, are the notable quirk of this building. Now, this MOC is available on Rebrickable for $4 by building and rebuilding. The instructions are pretty good, and it is cheap to build. It's lots of trans clear parts and white pillars mostly, and there's no interior except the ground floor. I have done my own rooftop design. I wanted to make it more bulky and add some colour, so it's got a blue band around the top. And this is because I wanted to make it into a KLM airline building, and KLM's colours are white and blue. I think it really works in this area. It's not too mental a design or too futuristic. To me, this definitely could exist in 1950s Netherlands, and there are plenty of examples of modern high-rise buildings being built at that time. The KLM sign is just good old-fashioned printed paper glued on with a Pritt stick. I'm keeping it simple, man. And from a distance, you will never be able to see how shoddy this really looks. The rooftop still needs finished. I'm going to add a helipad, but I'll do that once I've extended the height of the building, hopefully in a few weeks. You can see it a bit better here. It takes up a very small footprint. I'm going to build a path along the side here, and you can see there's a 32 by 32 wide space right here for the next skyscraper, and then loads of space for 2 or 3 more. The train station, which was the brick bank, it needs an interior and some signage, but otherwise it's done. I just need to build more roads to connect this bit. You might be familiar with Sears Tower. It was the tallest building in the world when I was a kid, right up to the mid-90s when the Petronas Towers in Malaysia beat it. Truly iconic building, it's amazing. and I've always loved its stepped design with the offset floors. Ben Builds Bricks on Instagram made this incredible MOC, which is available on Bricklink, and I've spent a while gathering all the parts, especially the windows needed just so many. I actually ended up buying too many. So I built his design first, so here it is as the Sears Tower, and it is amazing, and it's enormous. Again, it's so big it's hard to film. And it's so well designed and a truly modular construction. You can't believe how big this is, it's mental. It doesn't have an interior, and I'm not adding one at all, because it's just a waste of parts. You're not going to see this. Here you can see the design quite well, the offset sections, it's so cool, sort of like a cross design. But I'm not keeping it like this, because I want it to be taller. I want a building inspired like the Sears Tower and not the actual Sears Tower. So I've changed it quite a bit, believe it or not. The top is only slightly different, but the main thing is the height and the taller, narrower top section here. I've still got a kind of stepped section at the front, but it's all at the front, and this is partly because I'm going to put a sign on the wider grey bit here. Originally I did have an interior, and I'd also tiled it with a different colour of tile, and ended up having to take like hundreds of tiles off. I chewed through a few Lego brick separators like straight away, and I didn't want to use a knife as it can sometimes damage the tiles. But Lego brick separators are actually pretty rubbish. What's mad though is I recently bought a Lumi brick set, and their brick separator is well good. I mean, who knew? I'm amazed they even bothered making their own version and not just copy the Lego one, but I'm glad they did, as it's better than the Lego one. I've got a bit of damage on the edge, but hardly any really, and it's stronger than the Lego one. And you know the cross bit, the cross head bit for pushing Technic pins out, it's way better than the Lego one because it's on the side, and the Lego one has a sloped bit next to it, so it doesn't really work very well. I'm genuinely impressed that they made their own version and it's better. Mental. I just happened to buy a Lumi brick set recently, the Deer Park set. I bought it for the white car, purely because it's a convertible 1950s Cadillac inspired car. And it's so awesome, I'm over the moon with it, and the lights are fantastic, but I'll show you this another time. I've just gone off on a tangent showing you the brick separator. Anyway, this building will be the HQ for my space-based company called Lunatech, or Lunatic, Lunatic. And that's because I'm going to be building a lunar base for next year for conventions, and as a bit of a joke, I wanted to have it be a corporate thing, a bit like SpaceX. So, Lunatech will be owned by Lord Business from the Lego movie. And my idea is to have a cheese mining facility and all these 1950s inspired sort of futuristic cars that fly and stuff like that. Anyways, I think it's better to show this in portrait to show just how tall it is in the frame. I do still have a few missing bits and bobs, 1x1 black bricks. I never have enough of those. I will be making a big sign for this too, as I said, so hopefully next time that'll be done. Watching other YouTube city builders, obviously you can see how tall these buildings are, and obviously they need lots of parts, but it's really only once you commit to a skyscraper that you realise the sheer volume of bricks needed. But it's so worth it, and I'm really happy with, well, both of them. And yes, it's a big expense, but it's, yeah, as I say, it's totally worth it. Now, I've been going on and on about this for ages, and I'm glad I finally did this as well. I've added another floor to the pizzeria, and I put a proper curved corner roof on it. I've used the darker tan and brown windows. I think it looks quite nice. Some external lights as well. The rooftop part is actually from the Ninjago City roof. I just added a load more black slopes, lots of fencing, and a bunch of extractor fans for the pizza ovens. And of course, I tiled the top as I always do. And I put the Dutch baby food ad board that used to be on the other side here. Looks good. It's quite a big wall. I could probably put a huge one on here actually, but this is fine. Just nice to have a decent roof now, and this area is definitely finished. I had another niggle along here too. I felt the bakery, which was here, was just too big and you couldn't see through here. And I only really thought about it because I'd taken the bakery out to finish the ground floor properly and add some walls, and when I was putting it back I just thought, it doesn't really work. So now I've swapped it out with this apartment building based on Assembly Square, which is much lower, so I can now see the buildings behind much better. And although it is a larger building, the bakery, it just fits here so nicely. I can't believe I didn't do this earlier. And it's nice to have it right at the front because it's a very Dutch looking building. I think it looks ace. And when standing viewing this, it doesn't obstruct the back view either. And I love the bakery cake displays in the window that I made, and it was a real shame not to be able to see them. So I think the street looks 10 times better now. I'd love to know if it's something you do yourself in your city if you're building one. Do you move the buildings around like this and chop and change them, or do you just settle on it and stick with it? What's good though is you can now see this building a bit better, and I have added something that Lego would never do. A brick built cigarette on top of the tobacconist store. It's a bit random, but I wanted to add this, and I will also be adding another ad board up here for cigarettes. Hey, it's the 50s and cigarette advertising was everywhere. So there we are. I have spent well over £6,000 so far, and I still need to do a proper brick count. I used to do this more regularly. I will have it all detailed for the next big city update, but yeah, it's been worth every penny and every hour of work. I can't wait to have the whole thing on display one day, but still so much to do, a lot more skyscrapers to build. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Please give the video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you next time.